everyone. In the previous discussions, we saw about the order of events in organic synthesis. In this discussion, we will be looking for more examples of the order of events in organic synthesis. The sequence in which a set of reactions is carried out to get the target molecule is called order of events. That is the order in which the reaction is carried out. This we have also understood in our previous discussion. We will just shortly look into the guidelines which are going to give us about the order of events in the organic synthesis to retrosynthetic analysis. To decide an order, the following points should be noted. The reactive functional group should be introduced at a later stage of synthesis. That is, whichever group is reactive, it has to be introduced at the final stage of synthesis. Functional group should be introduced when and where required to facilitate bond making. For example, if we require system like methyl group, nitro group that needs to be introduced, wherever it is required, there itself it has to be introduced. The activating group should be introduced in the early stage of synthesis, while deactivating group should be introduced at a later stage or preferably in the last step of synthesis. For example, if there is a presence of an amino group that is an activating system, or a methoxy group or a methyl group which will activate the benzene system, such group should be always introduced in the starting of the synthesis itself. Whereas the groups like nitro group, SO3H groups which are deactivating the benzene system should be introduced almost at the end of the synthesis. If functional group interconversion is needed during synthesis, it may alter the directing effects of group and other substituents. So, these may be added either before or after the functional group interconversions. That means if there may be any type of altering system, that is if I require an orthopara directing group over there and I might get a meta directing group, that should be avoided. We should design it in such a way that the directing effects of the desired target molecule should always be fulfilled. If there are some substituents which are difficult to add, then they should not be disconnected at all, and therefore a starting material containing that substituent should be used. This we have also seen in our previous discussion, like if there is a phenol system, OH group, or a methoxybenzene system, or your a benzene system containing 2 nitrogen, that is NH2 group, that is orthophenylene diamine. If there is a dihydroxybenzene system, such systems need not be disconnected at all because their synthesis as the starting material becomes very difficult. Hence, how we can do is, instead of disconnecting the system, we shall choose them to be the starting material and then we shall continue with the synthesis. Such sequences should be avoided which may lead to some unwanted reactions at other sites in the molecule. Now, for example, if there is a presence of aldehydic system and I introduce a KMNO4, immediately it will be converted to a carboxylic system. So, such system should be avoided. Instead, it should be controlled in such a way that catalytic amount of the oxidizing agent can be picked up and only at an aldehydic stage we can stop the reaction. So, such sequences can be avoided. Some of the examples to understand through this order of events may be, the first example is target molecule being a sulfonic acid system containing an alkyl group. Now in this, if I want to do a disconnection, I will be doing a disconnection in various types of system. That means we try to disconnect all the groups and then we would come back and see which is the suitable method and why it is a suitable method. We would first look into the disconnection in various methods, and then we will discuss its synthesis, and then we will compare which type of, or we will compare why that particular synthesis was picked up and the other synthesis was rejected. Now let us start with this target molecule containing a sulfonic acid group with an alkyl group associated with it. That is benzene sulfonic acid associated with an alkyl group. Now the first type of disconnection would be disconnecting an alkyl group. That is removal of an alkylation system. Further, we can remove the SO3H. Then we will be removing a sulfonation system, and then we get the starting material as benzene system. In this, the forward reaction would be something like this. Benzene should be sulfonated first and then alkylated to get the target molecule. Now, in the second way of approaching this retrosynthetic analysis would be first disconnect the sulfonic acid group, and then second we would try to disconnect the alkyl group, and then again the starting material would be benzene. In this system, benzene would first undergo an alkylation system, and then further it is going to undergo a sulfonation system to get me my target molecule. That means benzene will first undergo an alkylation and then it is going to undergo a sulfonation system. But actually, what is the type of the synthesis that has been carried out for this target molecule? The starting material being benzene. The first step is Friedel-Crafts alkylation in the presence of AlCl3. The first step is alkylation of benzene. Further, this alkylated benzene would now react with concentrated H2SO4 to undergo sulfonation to get the target molecule. Now we would see that the choice of doing this synthesis was type 1 type of retrosynthetic analysis. That means first what they tried to do is type 2 type of synthesis, that is the second way that we have chosen is first they have took up benzene and then they have done an alkylation, further sulfonation to get the target molecule. Why not the first one and why the second choice for the synthesis? If the sulfonation takes place first, the benzene nucleus becomes deactivated towards electrophilic substitution due to -M effect of the sulfonic group. Meta-directing effect of the sulfonic group, so the target molecule is not obtained by the sequence 1. Why they have not chosen the point number 1 or the first type of retrosynthetic analysis is, if I do the sulfonation first, then because of the -M effect of the sulfonic group, it is not going to allow for the alkylation. Secondly, if at all it allows the alkylation, then the system would be meta-directing. That means I will not be getting a para substituted system. Instead, I will be getting a meta-substituted system, which is not my target molecule. Hence, the second type of retrosynthetic analysis was chosen over the first type. If Friedel-Crafts alkylation is carried out first, it has two merits over previous method. The alkyl group has got +I effect, which activates the benzene towards electrophilic substitution, and again para isomer is obtained. This is because the alkyl group is ortho-para directing in major amount than orthoisomer due to bulky nature of the alkyl substituent. Hence, we can see that there is a steric effect. Hence, the first type of synthesis was rejected because we might get a different target molecule and we might not end up with the required type of target molecule. The next example is like 2-methyl para-nitrophenyl system, under which the first type of disconnection would be disconnecting the methyl group so that now we can do that, we can enter that methyl group through Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Further, because there is a presence of a nitro group, we can just remove the nitro group by that nitration system by doing a retrosynthetic analysis on C single bond N through the nitration. And finally, we know that because there is a presence of an OH group, which is very difficult group to introduce, hence that can be my first type of starting material. Hence, if I want to look for the forward reaction, I will be having my starting material as phenol. Phenol will undergo a nitration to give me para-nitrophenol, and further it will undergo a Friedel-Crafts alkylation so that I get my target molecule. The second type of retrosynthetic analysis on the target molecule is, first we will be disconnecting the C single bond N, and then we get the intermediate like orthomethyl phenol, and then through the retrosynthetic analysis through Friedel-Crafts alkylation, we again will be getting my starting material as phenol. In both the situations, we can see that the starting material is phenol itself, because OH is a very difficult group to introduce. In this, the forward reaction would go something like this. Phenol under Friedel-Crafts alkylation is going to give me orthomethyl phenol. Further, upon nitration, it is going to lead me to the target molecule. So, what was the type of synthesis that was chosen? In the proper way of synthesis, phenol reacts with HNO3 and H2SO4, which is going to give me para-nitrophenol. This, upon Friedel-Crafts alkylation in the presence of chloromethane and AlCl3, it is going to lead me to my target molecule. Now, we can observe here that this is following the first way of my retrosynthetic analysis. This is because that is a very convenient way to arrive at my target molecule. Also, if I want to follow the second type of the retrosynthetic analysis and arrive at my synthesis, then the reagent used for nitration, the problem here would be starting material is phenol and then there is an introduction of methyl group. If for the nitration I make use of HNO3, which is also a good oxidizing agent, this CH3 group can get converted to carboxylic group, which is not my target molecule. Hence, the second way is not an acceptable way of getting my target molecule. Hence, the first way, that is phenol, it is first going to give me a nitration system. Further, it is going to give me through an alkylation system, and then it is going to arrive at the target molecule. Hence, the first pathway was selected for the synthesis and the second pathway was rejected for the synthesis. The next example for the order of the reaction would be, when we have a disulfonic acid and there is a methoxy group and an alkyl group. Now we can see that there are two similar types of functional groups. Further, we have a methoxy group and then there is an alkyl system in the benzene ring. And then we can also see that this methoxy system is a very difficult group to introduce. Hence, we always have to keep in mind that my starting material should always include this methoxy system. Hence, we do the retrosynthetic analysis in something like this. First, the sulfonic acid groups will be disconnected, and then next there is a disconnection of this alkyl group, so that my starting material would be methoxy benzene. In the forward reaction, methoxy benzene would undergo an alkylation and then further it is going to undergo a sulfonation to give me my target molecule. The second type of disconnection would be first disconnecting the alkyl system and then further disconnecting the sulfonic group, so that again my starting material would be methoxy benzene. Here, the forward reaction would be methoxybenzene would undergo the sulfonation first, and further it is going to undergo an alkylation to arrive at my target molecule. The third type of retrosynthetic analysis of the same molecule would be trying to first disconnect this methoxy group, and then it is to be disconnected through C single bond O. Then further disconnecting this alkyl system, and then finally disconnecting the sulfonic acid groups, so that I get my starting material as benzene. Then the forward reaction would be something like this. Benzene would react and through a sulfonation reaction to give me a benzene disulfonic acid. Further, upon alkylation, it is going to give me an alkylated benzene disulfonic acid. Upon the introduction through a methoxy system, it is going to give me a methoxybenzene type, substituted methoxybenzene type of system. One thing is true, that the last type of synthesis is not the right way to do, because methoxy group is a difficult group to introduce. Hence, now we have straight away we can reject this third type of retrosynthetic analysis. That is, this type of synthesis can be easily rejected because methoxybenzene is not the starting material in this particular synthesis. Now, we have to just choose between pathway number 1 and pathway number 2. So, look at the synthesis as we have done. The synthesis goes something like this. Methoxybenzene first undergoes Friedel-Crafts alkylation in the presence of the alkyl system, in the presence of AlCl3, to give me alkylated methoxybenzene. Further, in the presence of H2SO4, we will be getting a disulfonic acid. Hence, the way that they have done would be first pathway of the synthesis. The synthesis that they have carried out is by choosing the first pathway. Now, why the first pathway is the best method? This is because methyl ether is easily available and activating ring towards the electrophilic substitution. We also know that methoxybenzene is easily available and commercially available, and hence it will activate the ring towards electrophilic substitution. Then SO3H group is introduced at the last group, so it is beneficial in the synthesis of target molecule. Hence, path 1 is the best method. Path 2 is not a suitable method. This is because sulfonation is followed by alkylation. We have seen in the path 2 system, that is, sulfonation is followed by alkylation system. Sulfonation is followed by alkylation system. It is not a suitable method. This is because sulfonic group deactivates the ring and electrophile cannot attack easily. We already know that the sulfonic group, if it gets introduced first, it deactivates the ring and then there is a difficulty in the alkylation. Also, path 3 is not a suitable method because sulfonation is a deactivating group is followed by alkylation. There is no direct method to introduce methoxy group in the ring. We already know that because the starting material is not the methoxybenzene, hence straight away we can reject the third pathway because methoxy group is a very difficult group to introduce in the target molecule. Hence, path 1 is the best method to introduce the whole synthesis of the target molecule. So, the order of the reaction control not only the right orientation in the product but also the yield and ease of the reaction. We also have to look for the yield and how easily we can carry out the reaction. So, this gives an idea that path 1 is the best method. Next example is functional group interconversion can alter the directing method of the substituent. Now, for example, if there is a methyl group, they are always ortho-para directing. Through the functional group interconversion, they might undergo a oxidation to yield a carboxylic group, which is meta-directing. Nitro group is meta-directing and is a ring deactivator. Whereas when we do a reduction, that means I do a functional group interconversion, it is going to give me an ortho-para directing group. Now let us look an example for this particular pathway. If there is a presence of para-chlorobenzoic acid, upon functional group interconversion, carboxylic group can be converted to methyl system. Further, this chlorine group can be disconnected through a C single bond Cl disconnection, and then we can get the target molecule or the starting material as the toluene. My target molecule being para-chlorobenzoic acid, my starting material being a toluene system. Its synthesis goes something like this. Toluene reacts with chlorine in the presence of FeCl3. It is going to undergo a chlorination reaction. This upon oxidation in the presence of HNO3 and hydrolytic condition in the presence of Hg, it is going to give me, that is CH3 is going to get completely oxidized to a carboxylic system, yielding my target molecule. The second type of example for such type of functional group interconversion would be when there is a dialkyl system and then I want to observe that I have to get a system like final compound like a dialkyl system. We have seen this in a way of introducing a dummy amino group when we were discussing in the previous discussion. And then when I see that a dummy NH2 group is first introduced and then we are going to get our target molecule. Let us see here, there is a dialkyl benzene system. This upon diazotization and removal of NH2, we can observe that there is a presence of NH2. Further, one of the alkyl group can be removed and then I am going to get a para-amino alkyl benzene. This upon functional group interconversion, NH2 group is now converted to NO2 group. And then finally, the system like monoalkyl system becomes my starting material. Through the synthesis, we can observe here that a monoalkyl benzene would react in the presence of HNO3 and H2SO4 to give me para-nitroalkyl benzene. This para-nitroalkyl benzene upon reduction in tin and HCl, NO2 gets converted to NH2. Upon alkylation, because this alkyl group is an orthopara directing, but what we have done is we want a metaposition alkyl group. We also know that we need a metaposition alkyl group. Hence what we have done, we have already closed this para position. Hence what we can get now upon alkylation, obviously the alkyl group gets introduced at the ortho position of this NH2. Had it been an NO2 group over there, then the introduction would be meta with respect to that NO2 group. Because there is a presence of an NH2, the R gets introduced ortho with respect to NH2. Hence that is called as dummy NH2 group or dummy amino group that gets introduced. Further, when we do a NaNO2 in the presence of HCl, that is diazotization reaction, I can now synthesize a diazonium chloride, which in the presence of H3PO2 or ethanol in the presence of protonic environment, the diazonium salt can be released and we can get our dialkyl, that is metadialkylated benzene, in which that is my target molecule. So whenever there is a meta substituent associated with such dialkyl system, always there is an introduction of a dummy amino group, so that this amino group directs in such a way that at an ortho position my alkyl group gets introduced. In this way we can make use of a certain dummy substituent group so that we arrive at the target molecule. So in this particular examples, we have seen how an order of the event is important in terms of doing a reaction and how we can follow a certain guidelines so that we can arrive at our target molecule. Some of the examples that we try to introduce were to introduce a dummy functional group, how there is a direction through ortho-para directing and meta-directing system, why there is a suitable pathway of choosing and doing a type of synthesis, and then we also saw some of the synthesis and the guidelines upon which these type of conversions are based upon. Hence, this is going to give us a further idea about how an order of a reaction is an important aspect in retrosynthetic analysis. Thank you.